Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Idealist Academy. In today's lecture, we'll be talking about epilepsy and ketogenic diet. So beginning with our lecture, first let's introduce what is epilepsy. So epilepsy is a chronic disorder that causes the unprovoked recurrent seizures. A seizure is a sudden rush of electrical activity in the brain. There are two types, main types of seizure, that is generalized seizure affects the whole brain, focal or partial seizures that affect just one part of the brain. A mild seizure may be difficult to recognize. It can last for few seconds during which you lack awareness. So during stronger seizures can cause spasm or uncontrollable muscle twitches and can last a few seconds to several minutes. So epilepsy is a fairly common neurological disorder that affects about 65 million people around the world. So as I told that in this it is a chronic disease that causes the unprovoked and recurrent seizures. And seizures, let me again tell you that it is a sudden rush of electrical activity in your brain. So during a stronger seizure, some people becomes confused or loss of consciousness. Afterward, you may have no memory of it, what is that you gone through or what was happened to you. So there are several reasons you might have a seizure. These may include your high fever or head trauma, very low blood sugar or alcohol withdrawal. So anyone can develop epilepsy, but it's more common in young children and in some older adults. It occurs slightly more in males than in comparison to females. So there is no cure for epilepsy, but disorders can be managed with a medication and some other strategies which anyone can follow can get rid of this epilepsy. Next is, what are the symptoms of epilepsy? So seizures are the main symptoms of epilepsy. Symptoms differ from person to person and according to that type of seizures occurs. First, as I told in the previous slide also, some are generalized seizures, some are focal seizures and complex partial seizures. So if we talk about the focal partial seizure, it is a simple partial seizure, does not involve loss of consciousness. So it may include some common symptoms such as your alteration of senses to taste or smell or sight, hearing or touch. You may feel dizziness or tingling. Next symptom is your complex partial seizures. So it involves loss of awareness or consciousness. So other symptoms that may include in this type includes your staring blankly, and sometimes you feel unresponsiveness, performing repetitive movements if you are going through. So these are the common symptoms that occurs in your complex partial seizures. Next is your generalized seizures. So in generalized seizures involves the whole brain, and there are 6 types. Basically, first is your absence seizure. So in this absence seizure, which is used to called as the petit mal seizures, cause a blank stare. This type of seizure may also cause the repetitive movement, like the patient starts the lip smacking or blinking, and there's also usually a short loss of awareness. Next type is your tonic seizures. In tonic seizures, that causes the muscles stiffness. Third one is your atonic seizures. Atonic seizures lead to loss of muscle control and can make you fall down suddenly. Fourth one is your clonic seizures. Clonic seizures are characterized by repeated jerky muscles movement of the face, neck or around your arms. Myoclonic seizures involves that causes the spontaneous quick twitching of the arms and legs. And last one, the 6th one, is your tonic-clonic seizures, that is used to call the grand mal seizures, and symptoms may include such as there is occurring of stiffness of the body, shaking, loss of bladder or bowel control, biting of the tongue occur, and loss of consciousness can also occur in this tonic-clonic seizures, because it is the combination of tonic and clonic seizures. So next is what causes the epilepsy. So generally 6 out of 10 people with epilepsy, that cause can't be determined. A variety of things can lead to seizures, such as possible causes may include your traumatic brain injury. If a person has gone certain types of traumatic brain injury, then also there is a chances of getting seizures. Scarring on the brain after a brain injury, post traumatic epilepsy, that is caused. Serious illness or high fever is also a main cause of epilepsy. A stroke, which is lead to cause the epilepsy in people over age 35. Other vascular disease can lead to the cause. Lack of oxygen to the brain, sometimes the brain cannot get the proper amount of oxygen, then also the chances of epilepsy get increases. Brain tumor or cyst, if there occurs in the patient, then also there is a cause of epilepsy. Dementia or Alzheimer's disease is also a cause of epilepsy. Maternal drug use, parental injury, brain malformation or lack of oxygen at the birth time, also a cause of epilepsy or seizures. Infection disease such as AIDS or meningitis, and genetic or developmental disorders or neurological diseases also may lead to the cause of epilepsy. A person may due to these of the some possible causes, a person may have the problem of seizures. Now let's talk about how is epilepsy can be treated. So most people can manage epilepsy. Your treatment plan will be based on the severity of the symptoms, your health, and how well you respond to the therapy you are going through. So some treatment option includes, first is your anti-epileptic or anti-convulsant anti-seizures drug. So the patient is kept on the drug treatment. Some may find it a very good approach treatment for this disease. So these medications are reduce the number of seizures the patient have. In some people they eliminate the seizures, and to be effective the medication must be taken exactly as prescribed by their doctors. Next is your vagus nervous stimulator. So this is a device, actually stimulator. So this device is surgically placed under the skin on the chest and electrically stimulates the nerve that runs through your neck, and this can help to prevent the seizures. Third one is your ketogenic diet. So in the main topic of this lecture is your epilepsy and ketogenic diet. This I'll be discussing in detail, but let me introduce something that ketogenic diet, generally more than half of the people who don't respond to the medication benefit from this is this high fat low carbohydrate diet. So most of the people used to prefer this ketogenic diet, and this is marked to be very beneficial for the epilepsy patient, and it is working since from 1920s. Last one treatment is your brain surgery. So the area of the brain that causes the seizure activity can be removed or altered. This is the last option, and research into new treatment is ongoing. One treatment that may be available in the future is deep brain stimulation. It is a generally actually a procedure in which the electrodes are implanted into your brain, and that then a generator is implanted into your chest, and the generator sends the electrical impulses to the brain to help to decrease the seizures the patient getting. So this is the on this type of research is going on this type of treatment, and in future if a person is if the patient is having too severe condition, then he or she may go for this treatment of brain stimulation, deep brain stimulation. Another avenue of research involves a pacemaker like devices. It would check the pattern of brain activity and send the electrical change or drug to stop a seizure. So these are the two areas on which the research is going through to generate these of the treatment in hospitals. So we'll discuss in further about the ketogenic diet. So it is a dietary recommendation for the people with epilepsy that a ketogenic diet is often recommended for children and with epilepsy. So this diet generally is low in carbohydrate and high in fat. The diet forces the body to use the fat for energy instead of glucose, a process called ketosis. So this, as I told, the ketogenic diet is a high fat restricted carbohydrate regime that has been used as a treatment for epilepsy. So ketogenic diet is designed to induce a similar metabolic response to starvation with ketone bodies and acetoacetate and beta hydroxybutyrate becoming the primary energy source for the brain in the absence of adequate glucose supply. So, and it is generally of two types. First is your classical KD, that classical ketogenic diet, and second one is your medium chain triglyceride MCT ketogenic diet. So what happens? The ketogenic diet, as I told, that instead of glucose, the diet forces the body to use the fat energy. So the diet requires a strict balance between the fats, carbohydrate and protein, and that's why it's the best to work with the nutritionist or dietitian. Children on this diet must be carefully monitored by a doctors. So ketogenic diet does not benefit everybody, but when followed properly, it's often successful in reducing the frequency of seizures. It works better for the sometimes for epilepsy than others. So as the name suggests, ketogenic means it produces produces ketones in the body. Keto means ketone, and genic means to produce, in order to means to generate. So ketones are formed when the body uses a fat for its source of energy. Usually the body uses carbohydrates such as your sugar, bread, pasta for its fuel. And because the ketogenic diet is very low in carbohydrate, fat becomes the primary fuel instead. So the body can work very well on the ketones, that is on the fats. So ketones are not dangerous. They can be detected in the urine, blood, breath. Ketones are one of the more likely mechanisms of action of the diet, with higher ketone level often leading to improved seizure control. However, there are many other theories for why the diet will work on how it is working. So as I told, that it has been in the treatment for epilepsy since 1920s, and it has shown to reduce the seizure frequency by half in at least 50% of the children using it, and many of whom will become seizure free. Although the precise mechanism of the action is unclear, initiating and maintenance of this state of ketosis is important for optimal seizure control. So as I told that it is of types, let's see the type. First is your classical KD. Classical KD, this was the first diet that was introduced in 1920s. So since 1920s, the first classical KD, ketogenic diet, was used, that is based on the ratio of fat to carbohydrate and protein. Usually the ratio lies between 4:1, means 90% dietary energy from the fat is consumed. So fat is mainly from the food such as cream, butter, oil and mayonnaise. So carbohydrate is usually limited to small servings of the vegetable or fruits, and protein is based on the minimum requirement for the growth. Next is your medium chain triglyceride MCT ketogenic diet. The addition of MCT increases the ketosis, thus allowing more carbohydrate and protein and more normal diet. The transitional MCT diet provides 60% of the energy from the medium chain triglyceride. So a modified version uses 30% of the energy of medium chain triglyceride and extra 30% from the fat food. So MCT is given as an oil or emulsions, both available on the prescription which the doctors give you. Both type of ketogenic diet requires the calculation, means before you go through start your ketogenic diet, if you are a patient of epilepsy, both this type of diet requires the calculation of the individual dietary prescriptions by an expertise by a dietitian, and this is then used to plan your meal recipes. So all the food needs to be weighed to ensure dietary accuracy, full vitamin, minerals and trace element supplements as necessary to avoid the nutritional deficiencies if any. Now let's see the indications for the ketogenic diet use. Firstly, as I told that before you go through this ketogenic diet, the proper maintenance, proper calculation of the individual dietary prescription is required. So first is your first maintenance is your age. So mainly used to treat the childhood epilepsy. Currently UK NICE guideline do not recommend KD use in the adults. Can be successful in infant, although requires a more cautious approach to initiating and monitoring. Next, to keep in mind that seizure type, traditionally used to treat generalized seizures, but no current evidence shows a special benefit on any one type of seizures or syndrome. Third is medication. Generally not used until at least 2 anti-epileptic medications have failed, and can be used alongside other anti-epileptic medication, although initiation should done with the caution in patient taking top myriads due to the increased risk of acidosis and excess ketosis. Fourth one is your dietary restriction and can be used for both oral and tube. Feed patient can be used in dairy free, gluten free and vegetarian diet. A vegan ketogenic diet would be difficult to implement without the use of prescribable source of protein due to the necessary carbohydrate restriction. So these were the indications for using any or going through any ketogenic diet use. Now along with this, there also occurs some contradictions for the ketogenic diet use. For example, first is your inborn error for fat metabolism, that is beta oxidation defects and disorder that requires a high dietary carbohydrate content as a treatment. Secondly, history of hyperlipidemia or renal stones. Use with caution if also taking diuretic or medications that increase risk of acidosis. Concomitant steroid use may limit ketosis. Ketogenic diet has limited success if pre-existing behavior feeding problems. Next, let's see the monitoring of the ketogenic diet. So dipsticks used to measure urine ketone level twice a daily, aiming for high reading, that is reading should be 8 to 16 millimole per liter. Finger prick blood ketone, that is beta hydroxybutyrate monitors have recently been developed and may improve accuracy of the ketone monitoring. Some centers monitor blood glucose level during dietary initiation and fine tuning. Routine serum biochemistry every 3 to 6 months, including your plasma limits, nutritional indices and carnitine. Urine tested for hematuria every 3 months. Also calcium creatinine ratio. Renal ultrasound may be needed if stones suspected. And last one is regular measures of height and weight to ensure the adequate growth. So these all are the monitoring should be done when the patient is kept for any ketogenic diet. Along with this, some complications also occur with the ketogenic diet. First is gastrointestinal symptoms, that is commonly the patient may feel constipation or occasionally vomiting, diarrhea or abdominal pain. There are also chances of occurring of hyperlipidemia, that is common, although long-term effects on cardiovascular system undetermined. Problem of renal stone also occurs, that is reported in 5 to 8% of the cases. There is also a problem of growth, that is risk of compromised linear growth in younger children and may be related to lower protein intake. There is also occurs a problem of increased infection, and it has been reported to 2 to 4% of the cases, and although no specific immunodeficiency is determined. Along with these problems, some other problems also occur, that is literatures reported including bleeding abnormalities and bruising, cardiac complications, pancreatitis, hypoproteinemia, and potentiation of the valproate toxicity. Thank you for being with us. I hope you have understood what are the importance of ketogenic diet and how a patient is treated if kept for the ketogenic diet. Also some of the medications and what is epilepsy, I think you have understood properly. For more information regarding to this, you can log on to our website www.idlsacademy.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, LinkedIn, and yes, do not forget to subscribe our channel IDLS Academy. Thank you.